All right, are we live? I said, are we live? Well, if we live, everyone, then welcome. Welcome. Why this one hanging down further and this one? Am I reaching the right one? Hey now. Yeah, why is this one hung up? What's going on here? No, I'm on the wrong side. What's going on here? What is going on here? All right, there we go. And we look a little bit better. Now we look a little bit better here. Are we live? I said, are we live? Well, if we live, then let's get it. Says we on band 12. What seems to be the problem, sir? Do your job. All right. We early. We're a few minutes early. Let's get it.
Yes, it is. Everybody seems to have a double standard, and we don't get no respect in the world. We are considered weak. We are considered strong. We are considered dumb for believing in the book. But yet, these people have no moral And that's the title of this song. I love you, Jesus. We'll follow you wherever you lead us. I love you, Jesus. Don't let the devil deceive us. Can't get enough.
I love my Jesus.
Well, people say to keep it real, but here's the deal: if you're not saved, you're missing out. If you're not born again, your future is in doubt. Your body wasn't made to last. When your time comes, it will be reduced to ash. Your flesh will rot, but your life will not.
I love
You
you,
know your soul will go on
Jesus.
forever, so you better realize that you need God, or you will be
I love
surprised
you,
by the pain of a flame that never goes out. The pits of hell, where the heat swells up, there's no relief, not for a moment of peace. The agony and cries never cease. Come back and find you napping. See, no one knows the time of day, but if you follow the word, it won't matter anyway. Because in heaven, no one will ever be sick or shed a tear. So in this round, I show no fear. What you gonna do? Kill me? Make me a martyr? Give me a head start? Put me on the fast track?
I love you, Jesus.
Keep stacking, keep on shacking up. Don't get caught napping and the jig is up. And I just want to say, I love you, Jesus. Follow you wherever you lead us. I love you, Jesus. Don't let that devil deceive us. I love you, Jesus. If you think that witnessing to your neighbors is weird, think of foreign country with statues of idols unrevered. Nations of people who don't know God, only biblical concepts like a parallel.
I love you,
Most
Jesus.
Americans believe in
Yes.
one Lord, one superior being.
I told her on Hangouts.
Christianship is born of souls by the million, but we spend our time fulfilling the desires
I
of our
love you,
flesh. We won't give
Jesus.
Jesus our best effort, but we ask for blessings that we don't
I love
deserve.
you,
And you wonder
Jesus.
why our prayers are not heard. In church, you put down those you really
I
admire.
love you,
You know you have a
Jesus.
desire to make that easy money, drive the fancy car,
I
feel like a
love
star. When you
you,
get
Jesus.
to the bars or clubs, deep down your spirit isn't for
I
God or
love
His
you,
ways. So why
Jesus.
should anybody listen to a darn thing you say? I love you, Jesus.
Let me get her up.
Follow you wherever you lead us. I love you, Jesus. Don't let the devil deceive us. I love you, Jesus. We'll follow you wherever you lead us. Let the Holy Spirit feed us. And one more time, I love you, Jesus. All right, y'all, let's get it. Let's get to the Bible study. The minister, Brother Derrick Show. Let's get it. Welcome to the Sunday sermon, everyone. This is Brother Derrick, Minister Brother Derrick. And, you know, I want to come to you, and I want to tell you things that you can use, and things that'll get you to have a connection with Jesus and God. So I wrote this, so I hope y'all enjoy it. Let's get to it. St. John wrote that Satan accuses us believers before God day and night. The Lord depends on us to do what is right, but our flesh is not tough enough to stand alone. We lean on Jesus, but that we're no longer prone. See, if you're slack, you're vulnerable to attack. In many ways, men today are enslaved our ways. Humble ourselves and pray. Remember, the house on the hill, you can't take it with you yet. That caddy with the grill, you can't take it with you. Those stocking dollar bills, you can't take it with you. Only your heart and your thoughts and your attitude will prove your place in heaven or the fires of hell. I wish you peace and I wish you well. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, you're free or race. By believing in Jesus, we're all going to the same place. And that's good to know that God loves us all. Black or white, short or tall. He only asks us to be more like him. Then you won't want to sin. Let God into your heart and make a fresh start. You have a clean slate. Jesus' blood makes you pure in God's eyes. So stay vigilant and keep the evil at this world at a distance.
I just sent an email.
The devil's resistance. He's hoping that you slip. He chips away at your faith and strips away from God's grace. So bring to Jesus, he'll mediate on your behalf. The devil has many demons on his staff. Scouting, shouting things in your ear, chipping away at your self-esteem while you daydream. So be alert, zip up to the Father, and tell Satan in his arms, you man, don't even bother. But I say this, that house on the hill, you can't take it with you. That caddy with the grill, you can't take it with you. Those stocking dollar bills, you can't take it with you. Only your heart, your thoughts, and your attitude will prove your place in heaven or the fires of hell. I wish you peace. I wish you well. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, your creed or race. By believing in Jesus, we're all going to the same place. People are talking about struggling, saying life is hard, rough, you got to be tough. But there's nothing harder than standing up to God. Evil is rampant. Even in our nation today, morality is gone. That's why our society says no right or wrong. Fulfill your wants. Go along with the crowd. Fulfill the wrath of their tongues. This country is going to hell in a basket, no a casket. And if you speak, you're labeled a fanatic, a Bible quoting, scripture quoting do-gooder, who's living in a fantasy world, waiting for a heaven that never comes. But God's will be done. You can't stop it. You're on the wrong side. Swallow your pride and humble yourself. Ignore the traps of this world. Study the word and let the knowledge unfurl. Because I'm telling you, that house on the hill, you can't take it with you. That caddy with the grill, you can't take it with you. Those stocking dollar bills, you can't take it with you. Only your heart and your thoughts and your attitude will prove your place in heaven or the fires of hell. I wish you peace and I wish you well. This is Minister Brother Derrick, and this is a new theme song for our Sunday sermon in the Bible study. Peace, everybody. Much love to you.
Alrighty. Y'all see this verse on your screen. But this verse is going to take us somewhere. But I want to make a pit stop before we get there. Before we get there, I want to make a pit stop. Now, y'all probably tell that I'm a second behind in the webcam. We're using a cell phone as a webcam. I'm using my Samsung and it's in 4K, and that's why I look so nice, even though I got to figure out the lag. It has a slight lag to it, so we got to figure that out. But anyway, as y'all can see, crystal clear. You can see my hands, don't have the spots, you know what I'm talking about? Crystal clear. So, I was glad to get that worked out. Now I'm noticing that like yesterday when we started, the phone seems to be struggling. And we on band 12 doing 68, 69 now. Told you anything under 80 is good. So, don't know why we struggling, but that's up to Metro PCS. The 7,000. Now it's doing 49, 29, 53. You all over the place. Why don't you stabilize? So, We are at Mark 8:31 to 35. But the verse that I want to focus on, before we get to this, I want to focus on something that happens in the next part. Because the topic today is, are you doing the devil's work? Some of y'all get offended, the devil's work. Because I'm going to show you in Mark where Jesus called happened to him and one of his own disciples. The disciple who becomes the head of the church. The disciple who his position, the Romans declared the papacy. After Peter died, the Romans declared themselves the leader of the church, and they created the role of the Pope and his panel, the papacy. So they picked their own disciples. So this leader of the church Jesus accuses him of doing the work of the devil. So how is it that he could be the leader? We're going to look at that, and this is what I want to talk about. I want y'all to understand that we unwittingly do the work of the devil. If you are at your job and you see a mistake your coworker has made, and you can correct that mistake before anybody else in the office knows it, but you hold your tongue and go, and let that person take the fall. You didn't do that for Jesus. You didn't do that for God. Who did you do that to the delight of? You did it for the devil. If you see an old lady standing up on the bus, but she looked like she stink, or she looked evil, and there's a seat next to you, but the old lady can't see it, do you say, hey ma'am, there's a seat right here? Or do you say, I don't want her sitting next to me, she might stink, something might jump off of her? So you make that old lady stand up. You've just done the work of the devil. You made the devil happy. And you disappointed God and Jesus. And you see something fall off the back of it. Do you run and flag that truck down and say, hey, one of your packages fell off the back? Or do you say, ooh, I wonder what that is? That company won't miss it. Let's go ahead and take this in the house and see what this is. If you do that, you're doing the work of the devil. If there's a crime committed in your neighborhood and the police is next door interviewing people, and you know what happened, and you go in and you run inside and lock your door and go down in the basement and act like you ain't home so that the criminal gets away and gets to hurt somebody else, maybe you next time, But at that moment, you're allowing that criminal to attack somebody else because you could stop him, but you don't. Who are you working for? Is that something that God or Jesus would like for you to do? Or is that something the devil would like? See, I'm making a pretty straightforward point, but I'm asking the question. Do you, whether you know it or not, do you do the devil's work every day and still try to say you holy? Something as simple as if you're watching a YouTube show and you notice that the audio go out or the video go out and the YouTuber hasn't noticed. Do you sit and laugh or go, oh, well, he'll figure it out? Or do you do what you can to let the host know that, hey, something's wrong? Do you just leave? If you do, y'all might say these are small things. No, they're not. Because when a decision is being made, what they would like you to do, Jesus and God got to take into account your actions. How can I trust you with power? How can I trust you to be able to go and teach other people if I can't trust you to do the right thing on little issues? How can I give you big issues? There are people who you see are good that don't get that big break. Why don't they get the big break? Because they can't be trusted to do the right thing. If you can't do the right thing on little issues, how can you be trusted to do the right thing on big issues? So I'm asking the question, do we? Thank you, Liz. People wonder, why isn't my blessings heard? I'm doing right. I'm going to church every Sunday. I'm attending Bible study. Why am I not getting anywhere? It's the little things that you do that make them feel that they can't bless you. Because what will you do with the blessing? If you can't handle little situations, how are you going to handle big situations? We're going to get to this right now, but I wanted to give you what the Spirit is telling me to say, and then we're going to get into the verse because there's two topics here. But the Spirit really wanted me to stress this one. It's a bigger topic, but I think you have to exercise exorcise, not exercise like running, exorcise all of your selfish thoughts, all of your evil desires. You have to be like an exorcist. You got to get it out of you. Get it out your mind. Get it out your spirit. Because anytime you try to do something right, that voice is going to be right there saying, you know, it ain't going to work out for you. Do this. You got to learn to tell that voice to get away from you. The voice to tell you that you don't look good enough. The voice to tell you that you ain't tall enough. The voice to tell you that you ain't sexy enough. The voice to tell you everybody else is doing better than you. That same voice is in everybody else's head, and they thinking the same thing when they look at you. I keep telling you, no matter how bad you think your life is, there's somebody looking up to you. No matter how bad you think your life is, there's somebody around you that's admiring you. I didn't understand that until I started working with the drug addicts. I always thought of myself as lowly, you know, I'm barely 5'7", I'm fat, I'm not that handsome. I got a good car, it never breaks down, but it's not fancy. It's not gonna attract, the real pretty women. I'm gonna have to go get them with my personality. But it wasn't till I started working with people who y'all would think was at the bottom of the barrel. When I would come in there and help them, they looked at me like I was a mini god. Go to work 6 days a week, work 12 hours a day, and yet on Wednesday, your day off, you can find time to come in here and mentor us. I can't go more than a minute without thinking about crack. I can't go more than 30 seconds without thinking about just sneaking out of here and going to get me a shot of heroin. Yet you can work and still find time to come in here and try to help us stay on course. And then you have a pretty lady meet you here and you actually go out on a date. Are you like superhuman? And I'm looking at them like, I don't know how y'all could live on the street. I don't know how y'all could break in people's houses. I don't know how y'all can go days without eating. To me, that sounds superhuman. So many of them have said, you always got the polo on. I would love, you got the polo boots, the polo, I would love to dress like you do. I would love to be able to pay car insurance and have a car like you do. So just because the doctor should have stuck you back in when you popped out and you believe it, and this is why God send you people to you, and they want to be you. A lot of people say they want to be rich. Being rich bring a whole lot of hassles. Well, I like to be rich. I want to be stable. Because if I got to do things that I know God don't like in order to be rich, I'd rather be stable. Some of y'all will say stable is boring. No, it ain't. Because when you go-getters get in trouble, who do you call? Who do you lean on? Those that are stable. So all the people that's out here robbing and stealing and everything, who do they rob and steal? They don't rob the rich. They rob people that are stable. When that junkie break into your house to get your jewelry and your china plates and anything else they can get their hands on, they doing it because they know you stable. If they get in trouble, they call you. Why do they call you? Because they know you stable. Why the heck you need 5 cars? And they weren't cheap cars. They were nice cars. Maseratis. Nice. He ain't had no Honda. He ain't had no Ford. After he paid all these bills, he ain't had nothing but a couple $1,000 left. If you work a job, when you file your taxes, most people get a couple $1,000 back. So he ain't no better off than you is he? He just live a nicer life. But then he mess up with the IRS, he done. He don't pay that child support correctly, he done. But he make all that money, but it's gone. He don't get to keep it. It's not what you earn, it's what you keep. If there's a teenage girl and she go to high school and she come out of high school and go work at a little boutique and they pay her $200 a week. When she come out that boutique, she go home, do her homework and go to sleep. Eat and go to sleep. She do is sit in the bank. She's a girl. Her boyfriend should be taking her out. He should be paying. So what does she really have to spend money on? That's the most stablest you can get. To be living at home, to not have no bills unless you make them, like she want a cell phone or she want a tablet. If she want to be on the cheerleading team, but she working, so she ain't got time to do the cheerleading. Her parents are going to pay for her school pictures. Her parents are going to pay for her the book you get when you graduate and the class ring. The parents pay for that. So what's she spending her money on? That's the most stablest you can get. She get ready to go to college. The parents pay for college. She should be able to get her own apartment. I wouldn't advise it. A young girl shouldn't have her own apartment. But she'll have the money. Because she really ain't got to buy nothing. Now, if she could be crazy and just go out there and be buying clothes and stuff like that, that's stable. And guess what? All her friends are going to come to her. Hey, can I hold $20? Hey, can you help me out? Hey, I wasn't supposed to be here and I broke something. Can you replace it before the people come home? Why are they asking her? Because she's stable. And most people, even when they got money, they not stable. I know people you can give $10,000 to, and a month later, they right back where they was. They not stable. Give me $10,000 and you come back in 5 years, and I still have 1,000 of it stashed somewhere. So if you can't handle money, why would you ask God to give you more? If you can't handle your children, why would you ask God to give you another child? If you can't handle the position you got at your job, why would you ask God to give you a better position? How come I'm not moving up? You can't handle what you got right now. Why do you think you should move up? How come you can't find me a good husband? We had 2 men die tragically. John BROTHA and Ahmaud Arbery. If I took a poll and went out on the street and I had a picture of both of them men, and I told the ladies, which one would you like to have as your husband? 90% of them was going to pick Ahmaud Arbery. A man that's shoplifting TVs. But the other man that went to Harvard, that got a good job, he fat. I don't want him. Look at that beard. He nerdy. I need somebody with some excitement. I need somebody that's just gonna get my blood boiling. I want somebody that's gonna slap me around a little bit. I want somebody that the other people on the street gonna respect. That's what you want. But what you want will never have you stable. Whoa. North Carolina is totally flooded. Oh, Lord. Hold on a second. Hold on, y'all. She was sending me links, but I was doing the sermon. Hold on. Let me transfer him over. One. Two. All right, y'all. It's flooding in Michigan and it's flooding in North Carolina. He's out of it. So we got some links to look at, but let me get to this sermon finish this sermon real quick. It says, Jesus predicts his death. He then began to teach them, talking about the disciples, that the Son of Man I'm sorry. He then began to teach the disciples that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the teachers of the law, and that he must be killed and after 3 days rise again. No name by Kay said, thankfully she's a lot higher, so that's good. What was that? That the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the teachers of the law, and that he must be killed and after 3 days rise again. He spoke plainly about this. And Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. Let's stop right there. Peter took Jesus aside and began to rebuke him, began to scold him. What was Peter doing? If Jesus is telling you, this must happen, this is why I came. Because it doesn't say what did Peter say, but you can infer. You can use your own level of discipleship and deciphering skills and see what's going on here. Jesus is telling them in advance what is going to happen to him. And he's telling them point blank, this is what's going to happen. And Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. Peter, who goes on to be the leader of the first Christian church, took him aside and began to rebuke him. Before we go anywhere, would anybody like to step in and tell me where I'm about to go? With what I just preached, where am I about to go with this? Anybody want to take a guess? Anybody? Anybody want to take a guess? With what I just talked about, where am I going with this? Some of y'all can cheat and look at the next verse, but we stop right here because this caught my attention. This is what caught my attention. Touched me right in the heart. Anybody? Anybody want to take a guess at where I'm going with this? The title of this is, do we work for the devil without even knowing it? This is a disciple. Someone who's going to be the head of the Christian church. He took Jesus to the side to rebuke him. Jesus just let them in on what he and God had planned. And Peter took him to the side and rebuked him. Need y'all to understand. Peter had the devil in his ear. Some of you would say, how? Because Peter wasn't waiting to understand why they allowing this to happen. He can only think about, wait a minute, if they kill him, then he's not going to do it. He's thinking about himself. Jesus is going to die to take our place in death. That's what he came to do. Nobody understands it, even his own disciples. And he's trying to explain it to them. And the supposed leader won't listen. Now, this is the same disciple that told Jesus, I would die for you. I won't let nobody put a hand on you. But Jesus told him before the rooster crowed, you will deny me 3 times. Oh, no, I won't. No, I won't. I'll fight to the death with you. But you know what he did? He denied him 3 times. The last time, he said, God darn it, I tell you, I don't know this man. But he was going to die for him. So as he's sitting there trying to rebuke Jesus, why would Jesus want to listen to him? Why would he want to listen to him do the double work? A man that blatantly lied in front of his face. And he knows he's going to lie. But let's continue on. Peter took him to the side and began to rebuke him. But when Jesus turned and looked at his disciples, he rebuked Peter. Get behind me, Satan, he said. What did Jesus say to Peter? Get behind me, Satan, he said. Get behind me, Satan, he said. So even an apostle that's with him is still doing the devil's work. Now I say, get away, Satan. That's what I've taught y'all. But get behind me, Satan works too. I like get away. Get out my face. Get out my mind. Get out my spirit. Get out my house. Peter unwillingly or unknowingly or just being selfish. We can't let nothing happen to you, master. Why are you talking like this? You're not going to do these things. We can't lose you. Jesus knew what he got to do, and he was trying to let the disciples in on what he was trying to do. So now he couldn't tell them everything. And Judas Iscariot, Jesus told him, go do what you got to do. Said somebody going to betray me. Judas. The word just rebuked Peter. He said, get behind me, Satan. He said, you do not have in mind the concerns of God, but merely human concerns. Can we say this again? You don't have in mind the concerns of God, because God wants this to happen. That he must be killed and in 3 days rise again. Peter take him to the side and start to get on him. You're not going to do this. You're not going to die. You're not going to. This is what has to happen. Peter's worrying about what Peter going get out the deal. You know, it's nice to be able to go from being nobody to being celebrated. People coming to you, they know that you with the master. And so you get a little glory. You take the master away, you go back to being what you was. Nobody. He's more concerned about himself. Even though what God has planned for Jesus benefits everybody. But he couldn't wait to hear it all because his own selfishness caused him to take Jesus to the side. Our selfishness make us that bold that you gonna go take the Son of God to the side, a man you seen walk on water, a man you seen feed thousands, a man you see bring somebody back to life. But your selfishness makes you so bold that you pull them to the side and try to rebuke them. You try to get on them. If that don't show you the power of sin, if that don't show you the power that the devil can have in your mind, he literally pulled up somebody who he knew was not an average human being. He had the courage to pull himself to the side, but he didn't have the courage to say to the Romans, yeah, I know Jesus. Yeah, I'm one of them. What do you have him for? He didn't do nothing. No, I don't know him. Why do you keep saying that I was not with him? Yes, he was. I saw you. No, he wasn't. I was not with him. But you got the courage to pull the Messiah to the side and rebuke him for doing what he came to do. If that's not working for the devil, I don't know what is. You ain't had the courage to stand up to them soldiers, but you had the courage to pull the Messiah to the side because you worried about what you might miss out on if they kill Jesus. You worried about what you might not be able to enjoy having him around. Not the fact that if you would have let him finish, he might have told you why. And he wouldn't have had to come back and tell you after he did it. After he rose, he came back and told you why. He was trying to tell you beforehand, but you didn't want to listen. Your own selfishness. This is why he didn't tell him then. You don't have in mind the concerns of God, but merely human concerns. I tell y'all this, and y'all don't pay me no mind, but I say before you make a major decision, you should ask yourself, would Jesus and God approve of this? If you approve of it, and it's what you want to do, you're going to do it. Even if somebody says, you know, it's not going to go right. It's not the good thing to do. Shut up. I'm going to do what I want to do. Got on it. Got that voice in your head saying, tell that person to shut up. Tell them to get out your face. God didn't ordain it, you did. You listened to that serpent in your ear tell you that you was going to do this when you know you wasn't, and you still did it anyway. But why do we do that? If we know that God don't approve of it, why do we try to do stuff that we know God not going to approve of? I'm listening. we having a serious discussion here, and you want to come in talking about ZX going to trucking school. Really? We just found out that one of our BD family members, Ham, just flooded out. And you want to come here and you want to talk about somebody going to trucking school. So, when did the devil tell you to come in here and say that? Because you obviously got the devil in your mind. He told you that you should come disturb a sermon. We don't care nothing about, we don't even know who ZX is. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? From the dead. And when Murray came back and told them that his body wasn't there, who was scared the most? Peter. Because Jesus was trying to tell them about that, and he interrupted them, then lied to him and said, I will fight to the death for you, and denied him 3 times. Who do you think was the most afraid when Mary Magdalene came back and said, the master is not there, he has risen like you said? Who do you think got the fear like a spark? Who do you think was frozen to death? Peter. Will you lead my sheep? I'm sorry, he said, do you love me and will you feed my sheep? And Peter said, yes. Jesus asked him again, do you love me? Will you feed my sheep? And Peter said, yes. He asked him a 3rd time. I said, Peter, do you love me? And will you feed my sheep? Now Peter was starting to get a little tiff. You already asked me twice and I said yes. Jesus did that. Because he finally got some fire out of this man. Some energy, some emotion. Because he was going to be made leader of the church. And because of the lie he told, because of the fact that he got corrected in this verse we're talking about, now he can hope that he can be the strong leader that needs to get this Christian religion off the ground. But look at what it took. Are some of us saying that we love Jesus, but are we still doing the bidding of the evil one? When somebody look at your life and see what you do, if you know that everybody's supposed to get 3 apples and you get 4 by mistake, that means somebody only got 2. Do you go return that apple and say, I got 4 by mistake, this is yours? Or do you say, hey, listen to that voice in here to say, you know, it was a reason why I was giving to you special. 3, and you grinning inside your head. Who did you do it for? Who did you make happy? Did you make Jesus and God happy, or did you make the devil happy? You ain't got to go pick no book up. You ain't got to go study nothing. I bring it to you in layman terms so you can understand things that make sense. Let me pull a chat up. Liz, you right. It is a shame. And it's a shame that I actually looked down there and saw that. Because if I didn't have the other phone, I would never have saw it. I would never have saw it. But as y'all head out tomorrow, where you're heading to work, wherever you're heading to, I want you to time yourself. Just look at yourself and wonder, if you get on a bus and the bus driver give you 2 transfers and you know you only need 1, do you still keep it? Do you try to sell it to somebody else? If you get a pizza delivery and they bring you ordered 1 2-liter and he gave you 2 2-liters, do you say, hey, you gave me 2, you're supposed to give me 1? That means that on that route, somebody not gonna get no 2, you got 2 instead of 1. But what are you gonna have to pay for? What's gonna happen bad that week to you for that thing you did? What's not gonna go right? Because there is a balance in this world. There's something called karma. And for an hour, while the driver run back and get some wings for that child. Sometimes the punishment is small like that. Sometimes you might go out, be somewhere, put your card in that machine because you got a chip on there, and you might walk away. You literally might walk away and forget your card. Should the person behind you in line say, hey, like you saw me do it at the 7-Eleven a couple months ago. Hey, somebody card here. It's a disability card like mine. So somebody gonna need this card. Now, I could have took it and went online and made some purchases. But then when they find out what the address it went to, they gonna come looking for me. So why would I listen to the devil and wind up in litigation for something stupid? But there are people that do it. Yeah, they forgot their card. Yeah, we gonna definitely gonna call eBay today. Oh yeah, I've been wanting to get that big screen TV. Yeah, 65 inch, just like Ahmad tried to carry out to Walmart. Yeah. So they're gonna bring it to us. And then later on, the detective's gonna come knock on your door. You know. There's a price to pay. All right, y'all. Everybody keep wanting me to play that man. All that man talk about is getting some stuff. If you invested with me, it's up $136 now. No, he said if you invest 100, it's up to $336. I believe what he said. I don't want to misquote him. Yeah, this has turned into a business channel now. Alrighty, y'all. So let's back out of here. I'll give y'all get a break today. I'll end the sermon early. Y'all get a break today. I think I made the points. So are we stable right now, or are we still jumping around? No, we stable. See, I kept the faith. I didn't let it bug me because it happened yesterday. But I kept it. Let's see if he mentioned his stocks. Because I watched him the other day, he got on my nerves. So. Did you know? Pause. Where's the disclaimer? You're making all that money off that stock, you shouldn't flag. Teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use. So let's get rid of that. All right, let's come back. I love you, Jesus. All right, here we go, y'all. This is clear value tax. Clear value investments. Yeah.
This is your stimulus check update, your second stimulus check update, and stimulus package update as of Wednesday, May 20th. Yes, we will cover the second stimulus check and also my investments. However, let's begin with economic and financial news. In financial and economic news, during these difficult economic times, here's a tip for people that are looking for a job or will be looking for a job. States are not going on a hiring spree for contact tracers. Contact tracers help locate individuals that were in contact with people infected with COVID-19 in order to help stop the spread. You can do this work from home. It can be part-time or full-time. Again, what's awesome is that you're helping America. You're helping save lives. To all the existing contact tracers out there, thank you for your service and thank you for keeping us safe. In other financial and economic news, the stock market is doing well because the states are reopening and on vaccine hopes. In terms of investing in the stock market, I would recommend taking a wait-and-see approach and invest defensively. My favorite stocks right now are my personal.
I told you. He went right to the stocks. My favorite. Alrighty, y'all. Apparently, we having audio problems. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. It sounded like the audio was choppy. So as you see, we go from one problem to another, and there ain't never no end. I'm looking at the program, and the program seems to be running fine. But I heard on the phone it did sound choppy. And bring it back. Did that help? Hello? What's that? First. Do a fast reboot. Do it again. Did it help? Hold on. Hello, hello, hello. All right, y'all. Let me stop this live, and we'll come right back. Let me stop this live. Wait a minute. All right, I don't know what's going